after whatever I've done, I disconnect? Or do you need me at the end?
I'll have you on the end.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure.
Okay, we're live again. Hey guys, okay. We're live again. Wow. See, yeah, the thing with being live, you just got to roll with it, right? So I'm just going to mute Eric. There you go. Thank you for you guys who have stayed on. And those of you who are watching the recording, this is going to be seamless to you. I just dropped out for a bit and I pressed stop broadcast, which is not what I wanted. But if those of you who were on just a while ago, you just saw the video from my friend in Australia, Di Downey. Go back to the replay and watch it again. But I actually wanted to introduce a couple of special guests that I talked about a bit earlier. And they've been running their at-home business relatively new this year. And both of their names are Erica. And they're both freaking cool. But I wanted to bring out Erica with a C in a second. She is actually, well, they're both out over there in the States. I'm in New Zealand, even though I'm an American. And she has actually taken an interesting turn in her, I guess, her home business career. She is a stay-at-home mom, and she's been blogging for quite a while. She's an artist, and I've noticed a transition, a bit of a shift with her quite recently with her posts, and a lot of it really is because she went back to what her passion was. I think for a while she was trying to figure out. Actually, I'll just ask her. Why don't you come out? Hey, Erica with a C.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for being patient. Oh my God. I've had so many conversations with you on this. Anyway, yeah, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I think that your story, well, both of your stories are actually quite interesting, and yours, is because you've been blogging for a while and you were trying to figure something out. Can you just tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, so I started blogging years ago and I kept trying to be a full-time blogger. I thought that was what I was supposed to do. And I would change, I kind of went through a lot of transition of the things that I wanted to blog about, or what I felt like how I was supposed to do it, or how I saw other people successfully do it. And it was just kind of this thing I went through. And then in over the summer, I made the decision that I wanted to kind of make some shifts in how I in the kind of work I did. So instead of blogging, I kind of actually stopped blogging. I don't know when the last time I wrote a blog post was, but I stopped blogging and I started creating art again, and I picking up little jobs, filming, doing video editing, things like that. And eventually I started running Pinterest accounts and being a Pinterest account manager, I guess is my title. And so now I've kind of made this big shift from thinking I was supposed to be blogging about business and motherhood and all of that, and now I'm just creating art and pinning things for people. So that's
cool.
The quick version of my story.
Well, what's interesting is you've always you were trying to figure out whether you wanted to blog and teach other people how to blog and do what you were doing, and then in the end your passion really is art, and there was always this underlying message, or I guess personal message for you, like you knew that you wanted to do art, but you knew you wanted to help other people as well. And yes. So that's what you're working towards. And I thought it was really interesting that you got back, you started managing accounts for Pinterest, and because you have such a good eye, and you knew you were already doing it for yourself, so I thought that was really cool. And I guess, what was that defining moment where you realized, okay, actually art is what I want to do, and to be able to fund that, I can still use my good eye and do all this Pinterest stuff?
Well, so for art, you know, making the decision that art was what I wanted to do, a little more than a year ago, I had this moment where I was like, I know that art needs to be a part of my life, but I thought maybe it was something I was going to do part time or, you know, with my extra time. And as I started, I would work on something else, but I'd always feel like something was missing and something was missing. And then I just kept coming back. And so over the summer, I guess it was like August, maybe early September, that I was like, okay, this is something I really need to listen to. And so I just started doing more paintings. And I went through this like month and a half where I was like, well, maybe I need to include art in the way I help people with their businesses. Like maybe I need to do branding or something like that. But it really wasn't the right fit for me. And it was a journey, and I had to let myself go on that. And then as soon as I kind of stopped trying to fit it into somebody else's perception of what it should be, and I just was like, you know what? No, I want to make paintings and I love it. And as soon as I did that, it was like, oh, okay, well, now I need to fund this. And actually, I was having a conversation with somebody about Pinterest, just unrelated. And I was like, oh, maybe I should do a course on it. And she was like, oh, well, I would just pay somebody to do it. And I was like, oh, you would? Okay. And that started it. And I was like, you know what? I make graphics for her and for several of my clients, I make graphics for them. And some people I just do the Pinterest and I can use my visual. It's very visual for me. So I love that aspect of it.
So. And it's been showing even with your personal posts too, the stuff that you've been creating on the side. And I know that even just that, even though it's not related to the money making side of it now, it's actually quite interesting how you've really been able to, you know, kind of change your direction. So that's cool. And then just for you who are out there, you know, this whole social media content marketing thing, it does take a lot of work. So you're going to invest a lot of time just setting up. You're going to invest a bit of money to get the tools that you need, maybe to get the mentor that you need, or be around people that you who inspire you. But in the end, you know, for at least for Erica with the C, Erica, and anyways, when she starts moving towards her art, she can actually start automating herself in other ways with the Pinterest stuff. And she actually does that now with some of the tools that she uses. And scheduling tools, automation tools. She's got a process down with, you know, how she does things. I'm not going to talk to you too much about it, because if you guys want Pinterest stuff, you can connect with her and even just follow her. So it's actually quite interesting. So yeah, thank you for that. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on here. I'm really glad that this worked out.
Cool. All right. So now we have Erica with a K. And what's interesting about this Erica is it's kind of a similar situation where she's really good at posting on Instagram, and she's very, well, I'll let her introduce herself, but she's very, very, very spiritual person. And she knew that she wanted to get into personal development, and she was trying to figure out how to kind of combine all that information into her products and her services. And she actually did go through the part one. If you are here, you can see the part one of the strategy, Courageously Free strategy. And I just wanted to bring you out, Erica with a K. Erica E. I'll call you Erica E. Thanks for coming on. It's great to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I want to hear some of your experiences going through the workbook, the first part of the workbook.
Sure. Wow, where do I begin? I do consider myself pretty spiritual. Not a woo-woo, spiritual person, but yeah, there's that undercurrent, there's that base of spirituality, and it drives everything with me. I'm not in your face with it, but it's just really a driving force for me. And it's very important for me, my spiritual rituals and things like that. But by day, I work as a computer programmer. So it's really this crazy dynamic, because on one end of the spectrum, I'm extremely logical. I'm extremely if, else, then, I'm very regimented that way. But then I also have this crazy, creative, abstract, way out there mindset. I'm like a living matrix. If you watch the movie Matrix, that's kind of how I am. That creative undercurrent, but yet that real logical, linear type of deal. And I've been trying to find something that can bring the two worlds together. I think that's kind of my thing, is bringing those two worlds together. And it's still a process. It's still a process. You're always learning, you're always discovering. And so Regina has helped me a lot with helping me discover everything about that and help that start to unfold, and letting me know that that's really okay. You're not really as strange and as abstract as you think you are. So that's kind of been that journey. But going through the workshop or the worksheets has been just inspiring, because what I ended up finding out was that a lot of times when we're trying to discover what it is that we want to do, we use the words that we hear out there instead of going within and really discovering who we really are. We'll go out there and we'll use a little catchphrase. I want to help people. I want to empower people. Well, do you really? I mean, I know you really do, but really dive deep and go to those different levels to find out why you want to do that. How do you want to do that? And what does it feel like to do that? So that was my major aha when going through the worksheets. It really took me to that deeper level that I wouldn't have been able to go to without it.
And when we had one of those sessions too, I remember you were saying, you were saying exactly that. You want to be able to help people. I want to be able to empower them. I want to teach people to, create their own, corporation. And when you got really deep towards the end of it, you're just like, oh my God, where did that come from? And that was
yes.
And I think being able to go through that workbook, or well, actually, let me ask you that, was being able to go through at least the first part. Did it really help you unravel that? Because what was your experience filling all that out and digging deep?
It did help me unravel it. It's still a process, because then once you unravel it, then you have to process it. So now I'm going through the whole thing of processing it, because it is different than what in my head, what I thought I was doing. I'm now I get to switch gears. I get to switch gears and really go more with the heartfelt, what does that really mean? What does that look like? And start conceptualizing that and start kind of building that in my mind's eye so that I can present it to the world. So it helped a lot. Yeah.
And that really applies to any industry, whether you are a real estate agent, whether you are, in cosmetics, whether you're, whatever, a travel agent. But digging deep into your heart and that invisible stuff is actually what's going to help you connect to your audience. And we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks with connecting. And I've noticed too with Erica E, that with your content on your Instagram, that it's starting to shift more and more. And with your branding, and I think that's really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing you grow a bit more. What are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to in the future, really? I mean, with your direction, I know that's such a general question.
No, I got it. I got this. The main direction is just being myself. That's what I've been struggling with. The struggle has been have this certain perception, having, worrying what people think of you and trying to present yourself like this industry expert or that industry expert. And that's not where it's all about. That's not what it's about. It's about being yourself. And this is what I'm learning anyway. It's about being yourself and letting that be the attraction principle. Letting that be the guiding force to bring people into your life that can connect with you on that level. Because if you're not you, who are you? So that's my new direction, is really just putting myself out there and just letting people see how crazy and wacky I can be at times.
And
so that's the new direction.
I'm kind of throwing you in a loop for this one, but because I want to give an actual example, because what you do is you work with skincare, and there's actually there's a really great story behind skincare, and part of the reason why you're doing it. And you were telling me once about the stories of how some people actually don't really know what to do, but what's actually the real reason why skincare is so important to you. And this is just really to give you, everyone watching, an actual example of how you're taking your story and you're going to start connecting it with your content.
Well, I believe that the way you feel, the way you feel on the inside should reflect how you look on the outside. So if you feel confident, if you're, just if you feel really, really confident and very secure in yourself, you can take on the world just head on. It's just another aspect. I don't know about you, but when my hair's done right, when my skin feels clear, when I'm put together, you just present yourself in such a different way. And having that, going through that process and that step allows you to really, really just take on whatever endeavor it is that you want to do. So that's why for me, skincare is important. Plus growing up, I had eczema. So there were times when I didn't feel secure in my own skin. It really is about that. Do you feel secure in your own skin? And if you do, you can project what's really, instead of trying to cover everything up what's in the inside, you can really just let that come out and project that. So that's my whole philosophy.
And the story that I was really going for was your personal experience where you as a kid grew up with eczema and you had some skin issues. And so that's how you knew about this whole area.
Right. Yes.
I mean, what were some moments as a kid having eczema? Like, what did that feel like? And why was it important to you why was skincare important for you to feel better?
Well, for the same reason, you feel out of place. You're not comfortable. For one, you're all kinds of itchy and you feel kind of broken. You feel incomplete. You do not feel completely whole, and you feel like people are looking at you. And there was one moment for me in school where there was a guy who was sitting next to me. We were just friends and everything. And I was kind of covering up my hand. I was kind of sitting there and I was kind of covering up my hand. He was like, "What are you covering up your hand for?" And I kind of showed him, I was like, my skin's, broken out. And he was like, "Okay." And that stuff happens. It was just skin, but for me, it was the whole world. I know there's so many other diseases and ailments out there, but for me at that time, it was a huge ordeal. And, so it's just not comfortable. It just, you don't feel yourself. You don't feel like you're up to your highest potential.
And then we were talking too that, you were pretty much your target market, your persona. So with this story with how you felt as a kid, the situation with this boy, do you think how's that important to your audience?
Well, I think that's really, really important. Because I know there's got to be other people out there who are in that similar situation. And going through that and knowing that there's other people who feel like that too, and that there are ways to empower yourself and learn more about skincare. And as you learn more about the outside, I believe you learn a lot more about the inside. And another thing that I've learned is there are so many women out here in their mid-30s and up who know nothing about skincare. They just put whatever on their face and they go about that, which is, cool and everything. But, there are ways to take care of yourself. Love yourself, take care of yourself, take pride in yourself, take pride in all of that. And it shines through.
Yeah, totally. And you were saying earlier, that once you know the outside, then you can know the inside, and it really actually goes back and forth. It really starts from the inside. Mm-hmm. You also start to understand the inside, it'll reflect on the outside, even in your business,
right?
So
very true.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. And I guess if you have other businesses as well, I mean, you're in skincare. Erica G is an artist, and she's in Pinterest, or she's in the visual side of things. Even as a traveler, you know, us traveling for 3 years, you know, how are we able to connect people? Yeah, everybody wants to travel, but what was that, you know, the underlying thing, our underlying message as we were traveling? And a lot, it actually really came down to being able to learn how to create a new quality of life, because we're not doing the 9 to 5 grind. We're, you know, we're just like, we know that there's something different out there. How can you find that? Is it actually possible? Can you have your cake and eat it too? And we were just so burnt out, and we were so tired of the day-to-day thing, thinking that we would have to work for somebody else, when in reality you can, even you can still love your job, but then how do you create, you know, if you don't love your job, how do you create happiness and then like earn money on the side with it too, you know? And we just kind of did that through our experiences. You know, mind you, so many people love their jobs, and that's amazing. You know, it's just really how you create your life. And I know we're kind of going off and not into all these stories too, but it really does have to do with, you know, your purpose and how you're going to create that in your content. So it's actually 10 or at the top of the hour right now. So I'm going to let you guys go in a minute, but Erica's, thank you so much for your insight. It was amazing. And thank you for sitting through the tech issues today.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Cool. Well, I'm going to let you guys go because it is the top of the hour and I respect your time. So I was going to talk about how you're going really quick, how you can enter the contest to win. Because on the 5th week, we're going to have the party. I'm actually going to get a party hat. I need to get one. And then I'm going to be really talking about I'm going to draw a winner from those of you who are out there. So to be able to enter into the contest, what you'll need to do is book a 15-minute free consultation with me. And I'm going to be adding that link in the chat in here, and then also I'll send it out in an email as well. So I'll add it in the chat in here. Book a 15-minute consultation. Those of you who do, I'm going to put all your names together in a hat and draw your names out. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys one-on-one. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you guys next week when we talk about curate and creating your media. And then maybe if one of the Ericas want to jump on next week too, and give us an idea of how they create their content too, that would be amazing. Or anyone else. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.